Guys, now please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, I'm audible, guys. Now please respond to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, I'm audible. Everybody, please respond to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Yeah, thank you. Right, sir. Now, object orientation. Object orientation is a topic. And before going to start this object orientation, I'd like to give some information to you guys. Now, try to put more concentration. Guys, all of you, that's it. Now, all of you, take this screenshot now. Link information here I'm telling there. Everybody, take this screenshot, especially this link now. Why? Because daily classroom notes is going on with this link only. Oops, especially Oops link is going on. Oops document is going on in this particular link only. Everybody, those who have taken this link details now, just say yes, done like that in the questions box so that I can move forward. Those who have taken that screenshot now, just type done in the questions box now so that I'll move forward. Right, sir. Everybody, guys, everybody. Okay. Right, sir. Now I'm giving one more small information to you. Now try to understand it clearly. Object orientation is a topic actually. All right. Before going to start this object orientation, oops. Before going to start object orientation, I want to give some clarity regarding this object orientation, how much it is important for us, how much you are going to understand in object orientation, that everything here we are going to understand. Now try to observe carefully. See, if you want to say I'm strong in Java programming language, then you must be very strong in core Java. And if you want to say I'm very good at core Java, I'm very strong in core Java, if you want to say that, you must be very good at object orientation. Object orientation is the heart of the core Java. Not only heart of the core Java, it's the heart of the Java programming language. So if you want to say you are very good at Java programming language, then you must be very good at object orientation. This is the point here we have to understand. Point number one. Next one. This object orientation is not only related to Java. Object orientation is required for Python. Object orientation is required for .NET. Object orientation is required for JavaScript. Object orientation is required for Java. This object orientation is one of the useful concepts in all the programming languages. Of course, the way of implementing object orientation may be varied from programming language to programming language. Java can implement object orientation in one way. .NET can implement object orientation in another way. Python can implement object orientation maybe in a different way. But concept is very same. That object orientation subject or concept, the theme is very same. But implementation may be related to the programming languages. Respective to the programming languages, they can provide their own implementations for this object orientation. But subject level, subject of this object orientation is very same in all programming languages. Now we are going to understand that subject level. We are going to understand that subject and how Java has implemented this object orientation. Here we are going to understand. So without failure, everybody has to understand it clearly. All right, sir. This is one point now. Observe carefully, all of you know, all of you understand it now. For example, I have a project, sir. Simple analysis. Now try to understand it. No, I have a project. Okay, my analysis is completed. Everything is okay. Now I need to start implementation part. I have to start coding. So before going to start coding, first of all, I need to select a particular type of programming language or not. Guys, now tell me, is it possible to prepare coding without having any programming language? Is it possible to code anything without having any particular programming language? No, not possible. Definitely, a particular programming language is required. Definitely, a particular programming language is required. Without having programming language, then it is not at all possible to write coding part. Clear? So definitely, we need a particular type of programming language. Once you are selecting the type of programming language, then we are able to select a particular programming language. Before going to select a particular programming language, first we have to identify, we have to select a particular type of programming language. Under the type, so many programming languages are available. Then we are going to select the required programming language. Clear? Now here my question is how many types of programming languages are available? First of all, overall, how many types of programming languages are available to prepare the applications? All right, I'm able to give list on now. Now observe carefully. To prepare applications, we are able to use the following four types of programming languages. Guys, all of you understand it clearly. To prepare applications, we are able to use the following four types of programming languages. What are the four types of programming languages here we are going to use now? First one is unstructured programming languages. Unstructured programming languages. The next one is what there? Structured programming languages. The next one is object oriented programming languages. Object oriented programming languages. And the last one is aspect oriented programming languages. Aspect oriented programming languages. That's it. Overall, now tell me guys, how many types of programming languages are available? Four types of programming languages. What are the four types of programming languages now? Unstructured programming languages, structured programming languages, object oriented programming languages, and the next one is what there? Aspect oriented programming languages. Guys, once again I'm telling to you, my main requirement of discussing this total content is what? To introduce these object oriented programming languages. My main intention of providing this total information is what there? To introduce object oriented programming languages. Right, sir. Now if you want to introduce object oriented programming languages, what we have before the object orientation, that we have to understand what we are having before the object oriented programming languages, that here we need to understand. Because of that reason, I started my discussion, I started my information right from what there? Unstructured programming languages, then after that structured programming languages, after that we are going to understand object oriented programming languages. After this object oriented programming languages, what we have, if you think about it now, aspect oriented programming languages is available. Right, sir? Now it's okay. Now anyway, here I'm getting a question now. I'm having a question here. All of you observe carefully. I'm getting a question now. What is my question here? Everybody put more concentration here. My question is what there. Already we have unstructured programming languages to prepare the applications. We already have unstructured programming languages to prepare the applications. Then what is the requirement to come for structured programming languages? That is my question. Already we had unstructured programming languages. Then what is the requirement to go for structured programming languages? Second question. Already we have structured programming languages to prepare the applications. Then what is the requirement to go for object oriented programming languages? Another question. Already we have object oriented programming languages. Then what is the requirement to go for aspect oriented programming languages? The points here we have to understand. But finally I need to talk about like what their object oriented programming languages. All right, then what is the requirement to come for object oriented programming languages? These things here we have to understand. Right, so now as part of that, the first question, very first question here, what I am asking there, what are the differences between unstructured programming languages? I want to use shortcuts, sir. Unstructured programming languages, USPL, and the structured programming languages, Now, structured programming language in the sense, just I want to use what there, SPL, just for my comfort. Every time not required to type that unstructured programming language and structured programming language. No, simply I want to use the shortcuts like what there, USPL and SPL. Understand, guys, what I'm telling there. Now this is the question here, what I am asking there. Now here we have to provide answer for it. All right, sir. Now it's okay, fine. The very first point here I'm telling to you, guys, observe carefully, all of you know. Very first difference. Yeah. Uh, I'm asking one question to you know, try to answer for it. Uh, of course, almost all 15 to 20 years back or 15 years back, if we take the case now, what mobile phones you are able to see? What mobile phones here we are having? 15 to 20 years, for example, if you go back there, then we have mobile phones, right? What mobile phones you are having? Any idea? Mr. Shetty, right? You are giving right answer. Nokia phones, Nokia standard piece, keypad. Yes, exactly. Nokia standard piece. Nokia standard piece is what? 1500 rupees phone is available. 1500 rupees phone, 2000 rupees phone. Nokia standard piece. No smartphones. No smartphones. Okay. Yeah. By that time, the Nokia or Reliance, the standard pieces are evolution, the new trend. So we have adopted for it. We have used it. Clear. Now nowadays, what is the situations are at present? What are the situations are now? Tell me. At present, what is the situation? What phones here we are having at present now? At present, what phones here we are having? Guys, very good responses, guys. Android, iPhone, foldable phones, Samsung, Note, Apple. Right, good. Different phones. All right, sir. My simple question, my simple question is it possible to use the Nokia 1500 rupees phone at present? Is it possible to use that Nokia 1500 rupees phone at present for our requirements? Is it possible to use? Come on, guys. I'm asking this question. Answer for it. Is it possible to use? Come on, guys. Now, previously we are having black and white movies now. Black and white screen movies or black and white movies are available. At present, what movies are available? Colorful movies are available. Huh? Right, sir. Is it possible to use that Nokia standard piece at present for our requirements? No. 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 Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. As per the present requirements, we are unable to use. Say for example, what is the reason why we are not, why we are unable to use, why we are unable to use that Nokia standard piece at present? No, here the problem is what? At present, everybody, everybody are living with the mobile phones only. Without mobile phones, not at all possible. Their life is not moving forward if mobile phones are not available. Guys, now think about it. No, now think about it. No, if mobile phones are banned at present, then what is the situation for the people there? If mobile phones are banned, no mobile phone, then there is a rule from Indian government. So Indians should not use mobile phone. Not only Indian government here, not only Indian government, no, the total, that worldwide. If you ban the mobile phone, then what is the situation for the people, sir? Now tell me. What is the situation, sir? Now tell me. Is it possible to survive depressions, panic situation? People will not sleep. Definitely, they will be joined in mental hospitals, right? Automatically, people will be joined in mental hospitals. People may join in that. Frustrated. Am I right or not? Now understand it now. How much you are depending on these mobile phones. Exactly, guys. Exactly. Right. The point is what I'm telling to you. What I'm telling there. Now the point is the basic need is what the mobile phone. Why? Because our day-to-day activities and regular activities, almost all 70 to 80% of the activities are going on with this mobile phone only. Because of this internet supported in mobile phones, because of this internet from mobile phones, we are completing almost all our 70 to 80% of the activities through mobile phone. Understand it clearly. Everybody, they are depending on mobile phones only. Observe carefully. So the point is what? Internet option is required. Internet is required. And one more thing, I don't know what is going on there with some people. I used to observe in my class also regularly. So they are not getting any notifications or any message in the mobile phone. But people are taking that mobile phone continuously for every 2 minutes of time, for every 5 minutes of time. They used to take that mobile phone, they used to look on mobile phone. Unnecessarily they are scrolling their mobile phone screen with their finger now. They're doing that continuously. But I don't know, even they are not having any message or any intimation from the mobile phone, but still they are scrolling that screen every 3 minutes of time, every 4 minutes of time. Not even that. You are not aware about it, no. Everybody, almost all 90% of the people, 90% of the people, they used to wake up on the bed and they used to check mobile phone first. They used to open their eyes with the mobile phone only, and they used to close their eyes with the mobile phone only at night time. When they're leaving from bed and when they're coming to the bed with the mobile phone only. Of course, you the people might be you are total enjoying throughout the night with mobile phone only. I think so, some of you. Sir, am I right or not? How much you are depending on mobile phone? Just understand it. Fine. Anyway, then I don't require all this conversation, but my point is what? My required point is what there? The Nokia standard piece previously we have seen, na? That is like what there? Unstructured programming languages. The Nokia standard piece is like what there? Unstructured programming languages. Their initial programming languages. The first generation programming languages. Unstructured programming languages are what their first generation programming languages. They're totally outdated programming languages. They were introduced at starting point of the computer science. They were provided at the starting point of the computer science. Guys, everybody understand it clearly. So the very first point is what their unstructured programming languages are the outdated programming languages. Outdated programming languages. Why? Because they were introduced at a starting point of the computer science. They were introduced at starting point of the computer science. That's it. Understand it clearly. When computers were invented, by the time one programming language is required, at that moment we are having that programming languages. Can you tell me what are the examples for these unstructured programming languages now? If you come for these examples for unstructured programming languages, basic, Fortran, and so on, Fortran or Fortran, whatever it may be, basic and Fortran, and so on and so on and so on. This type of programming languages are like what there? Unstructured programming languages. All right, sir. It's okay. Assembly language, of course, nice. If you understand it, no, basic is what there first comparative programming language, and Fortran is what their first interpretive programming language. They are the first programming languages on the base of the compilation and on the base of like what they're like interpretation. Right, sir. Now these are the first programming languages. Right, sir. Clear. But what about the structured programming languages? No, structured programming languages are not the outdated programming languages. Structured programming languages are not the outdated programming languages. Okay, they are utilized. They are utilized still for our application requirements. So structured programming languages are not the outdated programming languages. They are utilized still for our application requirements. Now, can you tell me what are the examples for this? No, Pascal. Next, a C programming language. Pascal and a C. All these are like what they are structured programming languages. Pascal, C, all these are like what they are structured programming languages. This is point number one. Here we are understanding clearly. Yeah. Of course, different languages are available. Maybe I may not aware about all these things, no, but I aware strongly about like what they're C programming language and Pascal also. Okay, no problem. But basic Fortran, all these are like what they're first generation. Then C programming language and Pascal, all these things are like what they're second generation programming languages. They're still in use. They're still in use. Clear. Point number one. Now point number two. All of you understand it clearly. Of course, the Pascal is also been outdated, sir, but still we are using C programming language, no? Okay, then if you are getting confusion with this, no, just I can remove that C programming language. Okay, clear. But example I'm telling there. And one more thing, Shetty, I'm asking this question there. I'm asking this question to you now. Answer for it. Object-oriented programming languages are using still, right? Object-oriented programming languages are well-demanded programming languages. Am I right? Say yes or no? Yeah. Snowball is one of the object-oriented programming languages. Are you using that still? Snowball is one of the object-oriented programming languages. Are you using still? Huh? C++ is one of the object-oriented programming languages. Are you using still? No, but categorization point of view, I'm telling there. Categorization point of view, I'm telling there. Structured programming language, some examples I have taken. Unstructured programming language, some examples I have taken there. That's the point I'm telling you. Okay, sir, good, no problem. Just leave this one. Right, point number one. Okay, complete. Point number two. Names are giving more clarity for us. The names are giving more clarity for us. Unstructured programming languages are not having, not following are not following proper structure to prepare the proper structure to prepare the applications. But structured programming languages, unstructured programming languages are not following proper structure to prepare the applications. But whereas structured programming languages are following a standard structure to prepare the applications. Guys, now just I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. Say for example, if you take C programming language, what is the structure here we are following in a C programming languages, sir? Do you have any proper structure to follow in a C programming language? Right, sir. Do you have any proper structure to follow the C programming language? Yes, definitely. First of all, here what we have to provide there. First, here we have to provide. Understand clearly. Macros we have to define. First macros here we have to provide. After the macros, no hash define statements we have to use. After this a hash define, hash include statements we have to provide. After this a hash include statements, no user defined functions we are going to provide. After that we are going to provide what their main function here we have to provide. Understand clearly what I'm telling you? So there is a proper way, there is a proper structure to prepare the application, there is a proper direction. But if you take these unstructured programming languages, no proper direction, nothing else. We can write that intersections at any level. Why, sir? Why direction is not available in the case of this unstructured programming languages? Why proper structure is provided, is defined in the case of structured programming language? No. Only one reason here I'm telling to you. No, observe carefully. Initially, why Nokia 1500 rupees phone was provided? Why not Samsung phone? Understand the reason here. The reason is very clear. Initial requirement of the computer science is what, their computer is for what purpose computer is provided? No, initially. Do you aware about it? For what purpose computer was invented? For what purpose this computer was invented initially? Do you aware about it? The main reason is what there? The main reason for computer is what there? To calculate arithmetic operations, to perform arithmetic operations, to perform some arithmetic operation. That's it. Some calculations purpose only this computer was invented. Answer my point here. Computer was invented for the sake of what there? Arithmetic operations purpose only. Yeah. To perform these arithmetic operations like add operation or subtraction operation or multiplication operation or maybe some other like what I'm there, special operations, whatever it may be. So to perform these operations now, how much programming is required? To perform these arithmetic operations, how much programming is required? So now tell me, is a less programming or more programming? Less number of instructions or more number of instructions now? Definitely less number of instructions here we require, less programming here we require, less number of instructions here we require, not more number of instructions. Am I right or not? Very less number of instructions here we require. So for writing that one or two lines of code, what structure we are going to use? For writing 4 or 5 lines of code, what structure we are going to follow? Understand it what I'm telling you? So not required to follow the proper structure for it. Okay, not required, because of that reason unstructured programming languages are provided without having any proper structure. But when days goes on, when requirements are increased, when application requirements are increased, automatically developers are expecting some coding part in the programming, more coding part in programming. When more coding part is required inside the programming now, then immediately people are thinking about what there, the structures in their programming, some proper structure they are expecting, the proper direction they are expecting in the programming languages. Because of that reason here we are having what there, structured programming languages. Structured programming languages are following a standard structure to prepare the applications. Not even C programming language, no. If you take Java, in Java also there is a proper structure. First we have to write like what are their comments, next we have to write like what their package statement, next we have to write what their import statement, next we have to write what their classes and interfaces, and finally we have to write what their main class section. This is a proper structure. Okay, right, sir. Now this is point number 2 here I'm telling them. Now observe carefully point number 3. Guys, all of you understand it clearly. Unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes, guys. Unstructured programming languages are using what their mnemonic codes. They are in less number and they will provide less number of features to the applications. Unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes. They are in less number and they will provide less number of features to the applications. But whereas structured programming languages are using high level syntaxes. Structured programming languages are using high level syntaxes. They are in more number and they will provide more features. There are more number and they'll provide more features to the applications. Right, sir. Now once again I want to give clarity on it now. Now try to observe carefully. Unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes. Now first of all, what is this mnemonic code? If you understand it now, as one question, straight question here I'm asking, do you know, try to answer for it. I think in your academics might be you're having microprocessor subject, not microservices, microprocessor subject. There is a subject, I think so, from electronics or maybe electrical, I don't know. Microprocessors, there is a subject like this. Do you aware about it? In BTech I studied actually. In my BTech, I studied actually microprocessors. Do you ever about it? Do you have that subject? In my BTech, that subject was available with me, so I studied it. Yeah, I strongly remember that subject. I strongly remember that subject. Why I strongly remember that subject? No, almost 4 times I wrote exams on it. 4 times I have written exams for it. Almost 3 times failed, and fourth time is pass. Because of that reason, I remember strongly. Microprocessors. Yes, sir, got it. What I am telling you. Okay, microcontroller, no, but maybe I think so. The subject name may be different, no. So 8084, 8085, like processors, like different concepts, no. So in our academics, microprocessors, that subject you if you are having there. So not only the paper, not only the subject, no, then there is a lab for it. There is a lab actually. Yeah, lab is also available. External lab is available for it. So if you observe this external lab now, there we are able to prepare some projects like watch, traffic control signaling system, traffic signaling system maybe, 7 segmented display. Now this type of projects we used to do in microprocessors lab. Okay. In 2 ways we are able to do that microprocessors lab actually. The projects we are able to in 2 ways. What are the 2 ways? No, one is what there by using kit, electronics kit, and the second one is by writing programs in the system, by writing commands in the system. Do you aware about it? What commands you have used there for that projects now? If you understand it now, what commands we are using in that projects there? Maximum we are going to use assembly language code. What you are able to use there? Assembly language code. What is that assembly language code actually? Add, sub, mul, move. Like what next one get load. Maximum 6 or 7 commands you are going to use for the entire programming. Max is 6 or 7 number of lines only, 6 or 7 commands only. Understand guys what I'm telling there? So that 6 are commands that add, sub, mul, div, load, store. These commands are called as what they are mnemonic codes. These codes are like what they're mnemonic codes. But how many codes are available there? They are in less number actually. Once they are having less number, once they are in less number, they'll provide less number of features to the applications. We are not going to have too many number of features in the application development. Less number of features are available. But when it comes to the structured programming languages, for example C programming language, when it comes to the structured programming language like C programming language, in a C programming language, all of you guys understand it clearly. In a C programming languages, what we are having there, observe carefully. In a C programming languages, how many features are available in C programming languages? No, so many features are available, so many flow controllers are available, number of features are available, sir. Like what features are available here? No, if condition is available, this is one of the features. Switch cases are available here. After this, for loop is available, while loop is available, do while loop is available. Okay, so many features are available. So automatically programming is going to be very simple if you use the structured programming languages. No, application development is very simple when compared with unstructured programming languages. So because of that reason, the point is what there, unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes. They are in less number and they will provide less number of features to the applications. Whereas structured programming languages are using high level syntaxes. No, they are in more number and they will provide more number of features, more features to the application development. Right, so now this is another point here we have to use. We have to understand clearly. Next one is after this, after completion of this content here. Okay. Point number 4. Observe carefully, guys. Unstructured programming languages are using only go to statement to define flow of execution. But whereas using only go to statement. But whereas structured programming languages are using more flow controllers. to define flow of execution. To define flow of execution. Now tell me guys, in the case of this basic, or in the case of Fortran, or maybe in the case of assembly language code, only go to statement is possible. Only go to statement here we are going to use. But in the case of structured programming languages, take best example C programming language. As I said you already, if statements, switch cases, no, break statement, continue statement, for loop, while loop, do while loop, no, return statement, all these are defining what their flow control, flow of execution. So automatically programming is going to be easy. In the case of what there, where programming is going to be very easy, no, structured programming language only. In a structured programming language only, the programming part will be very simple. That is another point here we have to understand. The last point, sir, now observe carefully about this particular discussion. The last another point here, what I am telling, no, observe carefully. The next point is what there, unstructured programming languages are not having functions of future. Functions feature, of course in the case of Java we are using like what their methods. In the case of Java we are using what their methods, but here we are using like what their functions. Unstructured programming languages are not having functions of future, so it will not support, it will not provide code reusability, and it will increase code redundancy, and it will increase what their code redundancy. Unstructured programming languages are not having functions, it will not provide code reusability, it will increase code redundancy. Guys, now tell me, what is code redundancy actually? What you are understanding about this code redundancy? Any idea about this code redundancy? In a simple words I required here, code redundancy is what? As a duplicate code. Code redundancy is what there? Duplicate code. Code redundancy is what there? Duplicate code. That's a duplicate code. More and more duplicate code here we are able to get. Right. Now, because of this reason here, what I am telling now, duplicate code is going to be increased more and more in the case of unstructured programming languages. But now I'm telling there, structured programming languages are having functions feature, functions. It will increase code reusability, and it will reduce code redundancy. Code redundancy. That's a simple example here I'm telling to you. Now observe carefully. For example, I have a function, sir. I have a code, C programming language, for example, main method. Now inside this C program here, all of you understand it clearly. Inside this C program, here I want to perform some task. Task 1, it required nearly 100 lines of code. After few lines of code here, again I required to perform like what the task, one particular task here I have to perform there. Put more concentration, all of you know. Some task here I'm going to perform here, I'm going to provide, sorry. Again some few lines of code here we are going to provide. Again here another task here, same task here I'm performing here. Again few lines of code. Again same task. Again few lines of code. Guys, now I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it here. Everybody answer for it now. How many times I performed the task in my program, sir? How many times I performed the same task in my program? Come on, everybody answer for it. How many times I performed the same task in my program? 5 times. 5 times I performed the same task in my program. 5 times I performed the same task in my program here. So every time to perform this task, how many lines of code here we have to write? How many lines of code here we have to write now? 100 lines of code here we have to write to perform that particular task, or to represent that particular task. 100 lines of code here I have to write. But the same task 5 times we performed, in the sense same 100 lines of code we have to write 5 times or not? Same 100 lines of code we have to write 5 times or not? Everybody, same 100 lines of code we have tried 5 times or not? Right, sir. Now, 5 times the same code we are writing, in the sense duplicate code is increased or not? Duplicate code is increased or not? Duplicate code is increased or not? Come on, guys. Every time, everybody respond for me. Duplicate code will be increased. When duplicate code is increased, whenever the duplicate code is increased, when the duplicate code is increased, automatically code redundancy will be increased. So then what is the solution for this? What is the solution for this code? Duplicate code here, no? Right. If you want to get solution here, then what I am telling now, define a method, define a function with the same task. Now I'm going to define a function here. Now task, the function name is also like what the task. Inside this task, one time we can define like what there 100 lines of code. 100 lines of code here we have to provide inside this task now. Task is a function now. Wherever we require the task function now, simply access the task. Access the task. No need to write 100 lines of code every time here. One time define that 100 lines of code in a simple function there. Then after that, now access the task function wherever we require that function. Wherever we require that particular code here, just access like what there directly task. Directly access that particular one what the task. That's it. Now tell me how many times we define the task now? One time here. But how many times we are accessing the same task now? One time we define the task now, but how many times we have access to the task here? 5 times we have access to the task now. Previously, 5 times we write the same code again and again, but this time only one time we define it now. But we have access only one time or not? Access it 5 times or not? Defining is only one time, but access it 5 times or not? Guys, everybody understand it clearly. So now what is the advantage here we are getting by using these functions now? What we improved in this total scenario? What we improved, sir? Now tell me. Now here, reusability of the code is increased or not? Code reusability is increased or not? Code reusability here we are getting it or not? Definitely code reusability is increased. When code reusability is increased, automatically code redundancy will be reduced or not? Automatically code redundancy will be reduced or not? Yeah, this is the advantage of like what are their functions. This is the main intention of the functions. Unfortunately, unstructured programming languages are not having functions. It will not provide code reusability and it will increase code redundancy. But structured programming languages are having functions feature. It will increase code reusability and it will reduce code redundancy. That's enough. This is exactly the meaning of like what there. Right, so the differences between unstructured programming languages and structured programming languages. Guys, don't worry. At the starting point of the object orientation, I'm able to discuss the concepts in this way only, but we are going to understand is a basic platform what I'm preparing now. In this level, if you start our conversation here, definitely we are going to get very good knowledge. We are able to have very good knowledge on Java and object orientation. Now let me check it. What is the question here? First of all, what is the topic here? I started here now. Object orientation here I started there. So to prepare applications, we are able to use the following 4 types of programming languages. What are the 4 types of programming languages here? We are able to use now unstructured programming languages, structured programming languages, object-oriented programming languages, and aspect-oriented programming languages. Now the very first question here I started now. What are the differences between unstructured programming languages and the structured programming languages? If we come for this point, answers are very clear. Unstructured programming languages are the outdated programming languages. They were introduced at the starting point of the computer science. Examples are like what their basic and Fortran. Structured programming languages are the outdated programming languages, are not the outdated programming languages. They are utilized still for our application requirements. Example is like what they C. Unstructured programming languages are not following proper structure to prepare the applications, whereas structured programming languages are following a standard structure to prepare the applications. Unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes. They are in less number and they'll provide less number of features to the applications, whereas structured programming languages are using high level syntaxes. They are in more numbers and they'll provide more number of features now. Unstructured programming languages are using only go to statement to define flow of execution, whereas structured programming languages are using more flow controllers to define flow of execution. Unstructured programming languages are having functions feature. It will not provide code reusability and it will increase code reusability redundancy. But structured programming languages are having functions feature. It will increase code reusability and it will reduce the code redundancy. That's some example here I've given. What is the purpose of the functions? all the content here we completed. Now here I'm having another question here, another important interview question here. What I'm telling now, observe carefully. So what are the differences between structured programming languages and the object oriented programming languages? What are the differences between structured programming languages and the object oriented programming languages? Right, sir? Structured programming languages and object oriented programming languages. Right, sir. Now this is a point, no? Uh, guys, then one small information. Anyway, just I want to stop this object orientation here, the topic here itself. No, I'll give some information to you guys. Now observe carefully. 8 o'clock students and the new students, those who are attending the demo class yesterday and today, new students, just you have to stay. All the remaining members have to leave. All remaining members have to leave, not required. No, just your session is completed today. Only 8 o'clock students and as well as like what their new students, those who are attending demo yesterday and today, just you have to stay here. The remaining members have to leave. Okay, the session is completed. All remaining members we can leave there. Only new students yesterday and today, those who are attending demo class, and 8 o'clock students, just stay here. Just so few minutes of time. Just I will talk with you. All remaining members, you have to leave. Yeah. Shetty, completed. You can leave now today. But tomorrow onwards up to 8, I will take the session. Today, just 10 minutes before I am leaving. No, don't worry. Yeah. Come on, guys, fast. Come on, fast. Okay. Yeah, guys, now then for 8 o'clock people, just I'm giving some information to you. 8 o'clock people, just I'm giving some information to you. Just please try to understand what I'm telling there. Uh, 8 o'clock classes, just I want to give pause for few days of time, sir. 8 o'clock class, I want to pause a few days of time. Just try to cooperate with me. So then within few days of time, I will again call back for you from which date onwards I'm going to take these classes. No. Meanwhile, we have to attend the classes at 7 to 8 only. Actually, as per the schedule, 7 to 8 and 8 to 9 also we have to attend there. But 8 o'clock, those who are attending 8 o'clock classes, no, just I want to give pass for few days of time. Okay, don't worry. Then again, I will call back for you from which date onwards I'm going to take that classes now. Now at present, just we completed tokens part here, but don't worry. The remaining part I will cover definitely, but a few days of time. How many days and everything I will give information to you inside the class. Now, few days of time, just we have to pass. We have to wait. Then after that, I will continue the class now. Okay, got it? Those are attending 8 o'clock 8 o'clock class. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on it? Just a few days of time, just we have to wait for it. The next I will call for you for the continuation of the classes now. Meanwhile, we have to attend at what time here? No, 7 o'clock only. Directly every day we have to come at 7 to 8 only. After that, I will give direction to you on which date onwards you have to attend for it. Yeah, from today onwards, no class at 8 o'clock. Your class is going on at 7 o'clock only, 7 to 8 only. Object orientation, but in the language fundamentals, just I completed tokens part here, data types and all. I will cover later on. I will give that information to you guys. Don't worry. Okay, but I'll call for you from which date onwards you have to attend for that 8 o'clock class. No, but few days of time, just I'm giving pass for it. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I'll complete it. No need to worry for it. That's clear. Yeah. Then those who are understanding this, those who understand this, guys, now 8 o'clock people also can move away. Just we can leave from the webinar. 8 o'clock people also you can leave from webinar. Not required for you. Just you can leave. Come on, guys, fast. Come on, fast. Those are attending 8 o'clock, just you can leave. Not required for you now. Only the new members, those who are attending demo class, just you have to stay here. I'll talk with you 2 minutes of time. Come on, guys. I'm seeing your identities. No, just we can leave. Those are attending at 8 o'clock. No, then we can leave. Not required to attend the classes. No. Yeah, 8 o'clock people have to join from 7 o'clock tomorrow onwards. 7 to 8 only. That's enough. After few days of time, again I'll call back for your classes now, remaining classes now. Don't worry. Come on, fast guys. Then those are attending 8 o'clock, just you can leave. Not required to attend now. Okay. Yeah. Guys, those who are attending yesterday and today, the new members, the demo class, those who are attending for the classes, no. Just I'm giving some clarity for you now. Observe carefully. What is the clarity here? I'm telling you now. Understand it now. Guys, observe carefully. All right, sir. Those who are new members, just I'm giving clarity for you. So take this link as a screenshot now. These three details. Take it as a screenshot. I'm telling you, take this as a screenshot now. Okay. Take this as a screenshot. Yes, if you're taking these three details as a screenshot now, just type done on the questions box now so that I can see it. Type done, D-O-N-E, done on the questions box so that I'll move forward. All right. It's okay. Nice response. Good. All right, sir. Now observe carefully. Full stack Java is available like this. These are the subjects which are included inside the full stack Java: core Java, advanced Java, Hibernate, Spring Boot, microservices, UI technologies, Angular or React JS, either of this. Core Java syllabus I have given, sir. Yesterday, might be I given the total information on this core Java. Introduction, steps to prepare first Java application, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Almost all, so many topics there. Almost all 24 topics. Then versions information like this here I have given. Out of all these topics now, from which topic onwards that actual Java will start there from today onwards? Like what there? Object orientation. Object orientation onwards, the topic is started. Oops is started right from this today's topic now, right? This is the starting point of the core Java, original starting point of the core Java. But before that, three more topics are available. They are providing some foundation for Java. They are providing like what the some fundamentals for the Java. Okay, understand guys what I'm telling to you. So today I started this object orientation topic today. But what about the first three topics, sir? Will you cover these first three topics or not? You may have this type of question, but don't worry. I'm giving clarity for you. Observe carefully, guys. 7 to 8. I'm providing this total content again. Observe carefully. 7 o'clock to 7 to 8 a.m. I will cover oops and all remaining core Java. 7 to 8 oops and all remaining core Java. That is right from third topic. Now in future in the sense like what there exactly after 2 to 3 days of time. After 2 to 3 days of time, I will take 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. parallelly. I will take 6 to 7 a.m. parallelly for first three topics. No problem. You'll understand it clearly. First three topics I will take for the first three topics at 6 to 7 a.m. Mind that what I'm telling you know after 2 to 3 days of time, what I'm telling here, I will start at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. What topics I will take now? First three topics. Introduction part, steps to prepare first Java application, Steps to prepare: first Java applications, then after that language fundamentals. Okay, these three topics I will start at 6 to 7 a.m. in the future. Okay, now be careful. At present, 7 to 8 o'clock, I'm taking OOPS concepts and remaining core Java concepts. No, but first three topics I will take at what time? 6 to 7. Actually, these first three topics are basics only, fundamentals only. Of course, not mandatory for everybody, but anyway, I'm going to talk as per my responsibility. I'm going to take all these three topics at 6 to 7 a.m. Yes, sir. Got it? What I'm telling to you? 1 minute.